What's up, family? Jared the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Check The King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.
What's up, good people? BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcast on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
What's up, people? We are back. Episode 2 of the Patrick Gayle Show right here. Bossman Radio Network, Believe Sports and BS3 Sports. We got it going on with Coach Gayle. Today we're talking about his assistant coach today, Coach White, Adrian White with us today. And also we discuss giving to the Albany State Rams. We are your source for the man himself. This is the source himself, Coach Gayle. You get nobody else, no insiders. You get it from the man himself. He is here, the one and only Coach Patrick Gayle here with us. Coach, good to talk to you, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Coach, I'm great. We made it to week 2. They didn't throw us off the air, so we're doing something right.
And the great thing about it is we had a big win in the conference. Clark, Atlanta, my guy, Coach Jordan, he got a big win last night. So big up to the SIAC.
No doubt. SIAC doing big things already early in the year. Now, Coach Gayle, we want to talk about your assistant coach here, Coach Adrian White, who you brought back home to Albany, Georgia, and Albany State, who we fellowshipped with that brother. So tell us about Coach White a little bit. We'll let him talk about himself as well. But what about this young brother here that you want to bring him back again to be part of this program as you build this thing out the right way here at Albany State?
I appreciate that. I like what you said. We brought him back home. Coach White, was with us in our championship, our East Division championship year. He's done a lot for me at my last institution. When he was available to come to Albany State, my second year at Albany State, I brought him in, and we happened to win the East and get to the championship game, and just about 8 or 9 minutes away from winning it all in 2020. He went and pursued, some, personal endeavors for his career. And I like to tell people that he was my first recruit this year. He was available to come back when we had an opening, and I was able to convince him to come back, and he's been awesome ever since. We have a lot of freshmen, so he's been doing a great job in skill development, not just skill development, personal development for the freshmen, but the returning guys see, what he does. He's very good at, building your skill set, building your confidence, building, your tools needed to perform at the highest level. He's also very good, at offense, and he's my offensive coordinator. He's my offensive guy. So as big things is going to happen this season just by his presence.
No doubt. And Coach White, let me ask you this, man. Tell me about your journey, man, in basketball. Like, at what point in your life you decided you want to get into coaching and really help it pouring these young men, man?
Well, first of all, Bossman, good morning. Coach Gayle, obviously, good morning. Appreciate you all having me on. Um, Man, getting into coaching, that was not a thing that I looked at or I saw myself getting into, especially as a player. My head coach, when I was at Florida Memorial University, Coach Bellinger, he always told me, "You end up being a coach one day," and I always kept looking at him like, "Get out of here." And I just got to the end of my pursuit of trying to do something after college as far as basketball was concerned, and I reached out to my old head coach. We reached out to Coach Gayle, and we had our conversation, and it went from that conversation to being right on the floor, and it kind of felt natural once I got on the floor and was able to communicate, because it was basketball at the end of the day. I knew how to communicate basketball from my time of being a point guard and being a leader. And, I really, truly, loved it and enjoyed it, because it's still competition as far as, you're jumping from playing now to basically, guiding and leading and mentoring and hopefully shaping them into playing how you would want them to play if you were on the floor. So it's just been one of those things of seeing that translate. It's been a good situation for me.
And Coach White, been a point guard, as you said, kind of coach on the floor anyway. So how does
Mhm.
that help? We trying to help young men develop their games, because you was a point guard, you was calling the plays, calling the sets out, and calling the actions out. So knowing that was your role, how's that translate to developing young men in their games, whether it be in the post or on the wings, trying to get them to play the right way, knowing what you know as a player?
Right. So in the SIAC, it's pretty much HBCU life. A lot of HBCU schools. I'm sorry, and I coming from an HBCU school, basically lived that life. I was the guy on the team. I had the outside stuff and also had the inside stuff. But my main focus, especially when I played, was making sure I was ready and prepared. And a lot of the guys this year was just getting them locked in on being prepared every single day, whether it's skill set stuff or whether it's watching film, and just making them understand and see what we see. If we can get the guys to see what we see, we feel like we'll be in a good position, because they have a good mindset, they have a good heart about this thing. We just need them to see what we see.
No doubt. I think that's the biggest development for young men. I'm a son of a coach, so for me, watching the film comes natural to me. But getting a young man really to understand, when you watch film, you need to watch yourself. Not everybody, but watch what you're doing. Watch really what your role is in our action or our coverages. What are you doing? Where are we supposed to be at? On the nail? We should be hard heads. We're supposed to show and drop. So all those things, having your man have repeat it back to you off the film, not just doing practicing in a drill, kind of like a robot, but really knowing what they're doing when they see you, without having to be like, oh, overthinking it. So talk about that part of it, getting a young man really their IQ to grow for basketball.
Well, with film with us, and with film with anybody, sometimes it's hard for young men and even grown adults, to take accountability. And when you're watching film, sometimes it's like, man, I didn't bring it today. I didn't have that effort today, or man, I wasn't in that spot where I needed to be, and I know I'm gonna get ripped. So let me kind of sneak away and not watch the film. We want them to understand that, our accountability when we talk to them isn't coming from a place of hatred, or coming from a place of we're trying to stunt your growth. We want you to see it, but then also it's times where we want to tell them, hey, you saw this happening and you were going to make that play, but you didn't trust yourself enough. Like, trust yourself to make that play. You're good enough, you see it, make that play, you're almost there. Like, just and it's also accountability, but it's also an encouraging thing too. You want to show them that, hey, you're not as far off as you think. Like, yeah, we're getting on you, but if you're looking at yourself right now, you're this close to figuring it out. Just keep plugging away and you'll be fine.
No doubt, Coach White. I think that's the thing about it. You all coming at it from a point to grow from, not a point of demeaning. I feel like some coaches, we know who they are, who attack the players and demean the players. And Coach Gill's demeanor and your demeanor is right demeanor for me, because I feel like you're not Jay James. They speak my man. You don't know it all either. So it's like, you don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? Hey, show me where I'm wrong. Help me be better, because our business be accountable. But I also feel like it's the approach, how it's said, how it's communicated. I feel like you're Coach Gayle, for being around you, both brothers, that you all have a way of communication that a young man can kind of get with, because not from a place of evil or an attack or to demean a young man and
Right.
break the spirit.
Right, right. And I appreciate that because, at the end of the day, they already have their own stuff going on. They got so many things going on with life and dealing with school and the pressures of everything else. The last thing they need is to be in an environment with coaches where they feel that, that hatred, where I don't want to be around my coach, like, or even my assistant. Because sometimes, yeah, like you said, the head coach can be a guy where, he may have that demeanor where, okay, I don't want to be around him for too long. But at least the assistant coach should be that guy we should be able to, talk to and have that real mentorship and that leadership coming from him. He's got to be that ground floor guy to not only, establish and, maintain what we're doing culturally, but also be that guy that, that as a player that I can kind of talk to and relate to. Not more so, air my grievances, but more so say, man, coach, like, I'm really having a hard time with this. Like, what can I do? Let's do this. Let's do extra. Let's get in the gym. Let's do these things to kind of prepare myself and be a better player. And if an assistant coach isn't doing that, then it really is a detriment to the program.
And Coach White, talk about working for a guy like Coach Gayle, who empowers you. You know, like he just heavy-handed on you, delegates to you, lets you do your thing. But talk about that, man, working for a guy who believes in you, gives you some room to actually do your thing and not smother you. Be like, yeah, everything you do, he has to check it off.
Right. And it's empowering. But also at the same time, it keeps you on your P's and Q's, because even though he isn't, on top of you and kind of over your shoulder watching, when we have our meetings and we talk, you have to be prepared. You can't just go in and say, oh, coach, I want to go with this lineup. Let's just see if it works. Like, nah, we're not in that business of let's just see if it works. Like, we want to know, hey, coach, last minutes, who can we, what group can we go with, or what plays can we run? Have you watched this team? What did you see? So all those things. So, it's not just me, going off and doing my own thing and then just coming through with, just random facts. Like, I have to know what I'm looking at. And, luckily, me and him have been around each other for so long that most times, like, before he even asks me the question, I'm kind of just, blurting it out to him and kind of just talking to him and running stuff by him. And it has been times where we haven't seen eye to eye with stuff, but at the same time, we're both prepared with our points. And sometimes my point may be correct. Sometimes, most of the time, his point is correct, but it's never, coming in without lack of knowledge. So I know that he's not looking over my shoulder, but at the same time, he is looking over my shoulder. So I want to make sure that I'm prepared when I do come in, and also, be observant of everything that's going on, because at the end of the day, like, I don't want to be an assistant forever. I do want to have my opportunity to be a head coach, and, his empowering of me puts me in that position to where, I can find my voice and find who I am and my identity as a coach.
And Coach White, for the listeners out here who learning about you today, what is a fun fact you want them to know about you as a person, and what about your character and mindset you want them to know about you as they watch you and Coach Gayle coach this team up this year?
Fun fact. Man, I think I pretty much said it out. I don't know if it's a fun fact, but it's the only fact that I haven't said anything about. I recently got married a year ago. And the recruit that he was talking about wasn't me, it was my wife. Definitely had to recruit my wife and get her to buy in and come up here. So my wife, Rhapsody, is an amazing woman. And, she's made this whole thing happen, and I couldn't thank her enough. And then as far as, just getting ready and prepared for the season, for those that don't know me, they'll see, my passion for the players, but then also my passion and my love, not only for the players, but also for the university and, for Coach. Coach Gayle has given me an opportunity, way back, and given a lot of people opportunities that I'm still friends with to this day, that are still in this coaching business. And, without him, I wouldn't have found my path so early. and I wouldn't have been able to, do the things that I've been able to do in this short period of time. So I do owe him a lot. And I feel like with that loyalty, I feel like I have to be my best every single day when I come in here. So that's my position.
No doubt. And Coach Gayle has done a great job of helping out young brothers in the business. If we ain't gonna help our own, who else gonna do the same with this show right here? If nobody's helping Coach Gayle, I'm gonna do the show for him because that's what he needs to be put out. He needs to put you all out here, Albany State, and we're doing it for doing it just because of Nick said. Coach Gayle does what he does for help young black people in the business. I'm helping black coaches in the business, so it's all full circle here, helping each other out. We don't help ourselves. Who's gonna help us out? So we gotta do it ourselves. And I'm happy to have you here, Coach White, with Coach Gayle, and I'm looking forward to cheering you all on at Clark and Morehouse, and hoping you beat the living breaks off of them.
Just want to compete, JR. We just want to compete.
Just want to
They're
compete.
great guys. Coach Whitler, Coach Jordan, great guys. We just want to compete.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But you know what my loyalty lies, though. Albany State, correct.
Well, for all you loyal ASU people out there, ASU fans, ASU alums. Nah, seriously, today I just wanted to put in. Today is our Giving Golden Ram Tuesday. Dr. Kelly, our AD, has worked really hard on this campaign. So if you want to donate directly to us, it's on our Instagram and it's on our X account. But to donate directly to us, you just need to text capital GRT1, capital G, all caps, capital GRT1 to 71777. Capital G, capital R, capital T1 to 71777. And that will help us tremendously. What people need to understand about, HBCUs is that we have to rely so much on, donations, especially from alums, especially from people like you that really reach out and help us out and care. But the bottom line is scholarships. We are not, like other schools that can have so many scholarships. I tell recruits all the time, scholarships is not like candy that you just give out. Scholarships are more like, mortgages. When you buy a house and you have that mortgage, it's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. That's what a scholarship is. So, we need, help and donations, to allot that, not just for scholarships, but also, for, salaries for our staff. I have one assistant coach, that's Coach White, and it's not an easy job, coming to Albany State. Like I said, I had to recruit his wife because I had to convince his wife, to invest and believe in him. And I can't be, grateful enough. Just like my wife. You bigged up your wife, Coach White. I got to big up my wife. I love you, Sharita, because she has been, such a big support for me as well. But, when you donate to, our program, you donate into people. Coach White and Rhapsody, they have a great story. They actually met through basketball, which is amazing. And we have to help, like you said, JR, our people, our institutions, and anything is huge. The kids have to eat, the kids have to, get certain, support systems financially. Whatever you give helps. So, please consider us and understand that we're working hard and we have personal stories and sacrifices to help, win basketball games.
Now, Coach, do you all have a link that you can give to outside of today's Giving Day in general that you can give to the basketball program in general?
We do have a link, but the great thing about what I just said was that it goes directly to us. A lot of people say, well, I don't know if I'm giving goes directly to your program. If you text capital GRT1 to 71777, that goes directly to us.
Sounds good. And we'll make sure we put that out there on X and Instagram as well, and the LinkedIn's, and also that we can get the link for the men's basketball donations. So we can make sure we can get the, like Coach Gayle said, you're donating to people. And having been HBCU, I understand there's certain things that don't get funded, certain things that we have to hold back on. And Coach Gayle's school, I always say it's funded by student fees, okay? And let's be honest, it's not a lot. And let's be honest about this too. I'm saying this, not Coach Gayle or Coach White. I'm saying it. State of Georgia, the University System of Georgia underfunds the HBCUs in Georgia. I'm gonna say it out loud. We'll have somebody on the show to talk about it down the road here. But I went to Tennessee State. We're underfunded as well. It's been in the news. The federal government said we're underfunded as well. So I just want you to know, if HBCUs are underfunded by these states in the South, it's being real, and we have to take care of our own. We have to pull together our own resources to help make sure these young men have great experience at Albany State. Make sure Coach White and Coach Gayle are paid properly. They can take care of the kids properly and their families properly, because they're doing this out of the love of basketball, love of young men. It's not get rich here, people. It's about love of people, love of young men, love of helping young men become better fathers, husbands, businessmen, and growing in some to be successful. So HBCU did it for me, and then I did it for Coach White and Coach Gayle doing his thing. So I understand, people. It's about service, loving it on these kids and young men, helping them grow to be successful young Black men in society.
So it's all about. I actually got a call from somebody that actually was with Coach White and myself in the 2020 season as an intern, and then we got him to play his senior season. But Amari Beecham, he called me. He told me how he's now coaching at his alma mater at Miller Grove High School, and he's trying to also get into business in sports, and just called to update me and tell me how he's doing great things, how he's learned a lot. And that's what it's all about. Again, these are people. It's not when you see a logo and when you see teams compete, like Coach White said earlier, a lot of these young men have a lot of things going on, and all they need is someone to give them a chance. And, we give what we have. We give more than money. We give of ourselves. We sacrifice a lot to help these young men be successful. And a lot of times it's not reflected on a scoreboard. It's reflected in life. So you won't see that immediately. You'll see it years down the line. And to get a call from a young man that played for me, 2 years ago is awesome. And that's what it's all about.
No doubt, Coach Gayle. I want to ask you, Coach Gayle and Coach White, talk about the community involvement, Albany. Really getting involved with the community, getting the community behind you all, because they should love on you all as well and become like Albany's pro team, pretty much. Being football, make the university pro team at Albany. So talk about that as well, to get involved with the community of Albany, Georgia, and then the surrounding areas here, trying to get people really in Southwest Georgia to really support this team and see you all and touch these people and get them to really be behind you guys.
Well, the biggest thing is just coming out, and I think, when we have prospect camps and team camps, to really understand how important it is to get, these young high school prospects in front of our eyes, because we don't just throw the balls out and say, hey, go play, let's evaluate you. We're actually trying to mentor and, educate the parents. I always have guest speakers speak at my camps. I had Miss Mildred Polite. She spoke to my parents about receiving funds at a state school. I had Dr. Pregis, one of our vice presidents. He was kind enough to speak to, our parents just about Albany State. So the more you can support, a campus by being, on campus, going to their camps, going to their team camps, the more you can go to games, the more you can understand what the day-to-day, life is for a student athlete, to educate, not only yourself as a parent, but your son, as a prospect. That's what supported us the most. Our president, President Frederick, believes that we have to have students on campus. And I agree with her 100%. The only way you're going to know about college basketball is about being around it, being around the coaches. And Coach White does an awesome job, in camps, in skill development. And again, I always want to say this, personal development. We don't just talk to, our prospects on that day. We still, have a relationship, recruiting them or not, just trying to help them get better and be better. And then in the summertime, a lot of these, high school prospects that are from Southwest Georgia will come and we'll work out and play open gym. And, we have a chance to mentor them. I don't care where you play. I just want you to be successful, because at the end of the day, that's why the Lord has put me in this position. So I just want, the community to understand that a lot of that individual mentoring is not done when everybody's around. It's done by access. We give ourselves access, to these young people and helping them grow, to be successful. And a lot of players that have been, successful elsewhere will tell you that they've had conversations with us to help them, reach that path.
No doubt. And I'll just put it out there. Coach Gayle mentors me off the air too. He mentors me off there.
JR, I pray for you every day. Every day. You know that. You know
yes,
that.
Coach Gayle speaks to my better angels every day. Trust me.
But you do the same for me. I learn from everybody. And the thing that I want people to understand is that as basketball coaches, especially, at Albany State University, it's a community and it's a family. So you learn from your family members. You learn from the younger generation. You learn from the older generation. So I've learned a lot from you. I can't thank you enough for your platform and what you've done for us and what you've done for the university just by having this. So, we have to be able to teach and reach each other, not just say, oh, I'm praying for you, but what actions are you showing? If you're not doing something, then, them prayers won't be answered and prayers won't be listened to. He has to see that we're working too. So I appreciate you, JR, for what you're doing.
And Coach Gayle, we got 2 games this week for you guys, Mississippi College, West Alabama. As you prepare for these games, let me ask you this, preparation-wise, do you kind of try to do a little bit of both schools? You kind of just do the one-day prep on the back end for West Alabama. So how's that go for those who don't quite know basketball the way you and I do?
So that's a great question. You got to do both. You can't. You have to, keep the main thing. We play Mississippi College Friday, but if we are ignorant to what West Alabama is doing for Sunday, then you're going to get exposed. So you got to do both. And, we have to basically take a lot of data and information and put it into a usable, platform, a usable product for the student athletes to retain so they can not think on the court, just go play. Coach White's been, busting his butt, doing a great job in preparation for these 2 teams, as they are for us. I mean, the way I look at it, the way you prepare for other teams, they're preparing the same way for you. So you got to make sure that you don't get exposed. That's what it's all about.
No doubt. And, finally, at rhythm, I know you guys are sick of playing each other. I know I'll be sitting the same color every day. So how excited are your guys amped up, not letting them get too amped up, but see another color finally on Friday night?
They're extremely excited. They're extremely excited, as they should be. I don't think some of the freshmen know what they're about to get into, but that's why we have a lot of returning guys and we have some seniors. But they're extremely excited. We had a real tough day of practice yesterday. Actually, Coach White, we've had tough practices the last couple of weeks, I would say. We're getting them prepared for what it's going to be physically and we hope mentally. But that's the love of this time of year, man. Everybody's, yesterday at this point, everybody was 0-0. Now some teams have played last night, but everybody's excited about the season. And that's why you put in all that work. So we hope that we'll come out and we'll compete. And what we've been trying to tell them and show them, they have retained and they can show that they've been learning it.
Well, look for having a great recap on next Tuesday of 2 dubs. That's what I want. We playing with that. We're playing with it, Coach.
Playing with that, yeah. You see, that's what I'm saying, man. That's why I pray for you every day. Now. Let's hope that you're disciplined enough so that can get to the source.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, folks, this has been episode 2 of the Coach Patrick Gayle Show here. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. And we'll talk to Coach Gayle next Tuesday after hopefully we have 2 wins on the board for Albany State SAC basketball this year, doing big things. Coach Gayle, Coach White, thank you for your time today. It was fun as always.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
BS3 Network. Changing the way you watch TV.
Yes, BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV, covering content and hot topics from A to Z, sports, music, society and culture, movie reviews, you name it, we have it. Check it out on bs3network.com Or check us out on Roku, BS3 TV on Roku, as well as check out your favorite podcasts on all podcast platforms or Spreaker.com/BS3 Network.
You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
What's up, good people? Bet Online is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. Bet Online continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet Online, where the game starts. What's up, family? Jared the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Check The King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to The Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.